I was heard somebody say, well, in the strongman world, I mean, one guy was like, well, I have a six pack. It means they're not eating enough.
What's up, everybody? Joe Gray here today with another AMA warm up. Today I'm joined by my dude Brian from Wait It Out. Brian, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, Joe? Appreciate your time.
Yeah, of course. Always glad to have you here. I enjoy our chats on all kinds of various things, but obviously my favorite is gym equipment. So
Yes.
glad we get to talk about that today. So let's hop right in. We normally get going pretty quick. So the first question for you is, who are you? Why are you here?
So my name is Brian. I'm weighted out. I own it. And why I'm here is obviously to get the thinnest weight plates in the world for individuals and the most accurate weight plates, solid steel and cast iron. Then um, just continue to move forward with innovation and make new products.
Nice. I like it. All right, number two. Tell me about your lifting experience. So, like, what's your athletic endeavors look like previously? What are you doing now? All that good stuff.
Yeah, I'd say before the pandemic, I was doing sports, and I mean when I was younger, and I was lifting, but I could never gain weight because I was always so skinny. And I mean, I didn't know how really to lift. So I want to say probably 2, 3 years before the pandemic, I started lifting really heavy and started getting a little bit bigger, as in mass wise. I think I got 240 pounds just lifting like little small reps and trying to get cardio going and everything. But never really had a goal, just trying to,
Yeah.
general health, just trying to continue to be better, be stronger. I liked playing football, and things have changed since the pandemic and obviously the company. Now it's like lifting is harder to do right now because I'm always lifting stuff into boxes,
Yeah.
and that's keeping me in shape. Plus, I mean, not, I love golf. And I noticed as the pandemic and as I started losing some of my muscle, my golf game got a little better. So I
Yeah.
kind of changed my strategies, and I wasn't trying to lift as heavy, more just lifting weights at this point, just to stay in some sort of shape.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a goal to get bigger and bigger anymore. And it was more of like, let's try to focus on flexibility a little bit more
Yeah.
because I can do golf for the rest of my life. It's gonna be hard to
Yeah.
lift heavy for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Some of the muscles kind of get in the way of the proper movement and stuff. So I
yeah.
noticed that when I first started coaching my daughter in basketball, I went to go shoot and trying to get my arm all the way in, and my lat runs into my arm. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I gotta shoot a little cockeyed here, kind of thing. So,
Yeah, it's a little different mechanics, when you have to actually worry about mechanics at that
yep,
point, and
yep,
things get in the way. So now I think I've lost like 15 pounds. I'm still like 225,
sure.
but I don't know if it's all muscle anymore. I'm losing some of the legs. The legs are what I've been really
The
losing them
legs go
there, but
fast.
they do, and I haven't been doing what I should be doing
Yeah,
to keep those going. But it's important for golf, the legs. Obviously, it's a pretty big muscle group for
yeah.
that type of swing and mechanics. So
You just
trying
gotta
to get
pick up
more.
your boxes, and then instead of just setting it down every once in a while, just do a couple of squats and
Yeah.
then put it down, right? So,
Oh yeah, I can't tell. I got these large stairs in my warehouse that I don't know. They're like this high. I know that doesn't give it much dimensions, but they're like double the size of regular stairs up there,
yeah,
and they're going down. It's like doing little squats every time.
yeah,
So, um, yeah. But I mean, yeah, for health wise, I'll just keep going. And I mean, I definitely active. I mean, I'm getting like 16 to 20,000 steps in a day,
nice.
and it's not like it's just not. It's a functional active. Let's put it that
Yeah,
way. It's not a goal active.
yep.
So yeah, I still got some of the cardio, but I'd like to get more into some of the high interval training too again.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I've talked to people before, like, if your goal is simply to exist and feel good, etc., over the course of your life, you look at a lot of the countries that have, the centenarians and stuff like that, and they don't lift weights. They're just moving around a lot, right? They're just
Yeah.
physically active. Grandma walks to the grocery store every day and back, and it just happens to be that on the way there, it's all uphill, and on the way back, it's weird downhill and it's uneven pavement because it's the old streets of Italy and stuff like that and whatever. And they eat good, they enjoy life, they have fun, etc. And so yeah, I don't think, as much as I love lifting weights and as much as I think it's a core foundation for probably a lot of people to stay healthy in general, if you are active, if you have an active job, lifting, moving, etc., you don't have to sit there and spend hours curling, benching, deadlifting, whatever. Like, yeah. Uh,
It all depends on your goal too, right? I mean, I'm not looking to work out 5 hours a day and eat 1,000 calories to
yeah.
have a six pack. I was heard somebody say, well, in the strongman world, I mean, one guy was like, well, I have a six pack. It means they're not eating enough.
Yeah.
Well, you're right. I like eating and I like enjoying. So, but you got to balance it out, of course, and you do
Yeah.
different things. And um, yeah, now as I get older and I mean, start getting at 50s, 60s, not there yet, obviously, but as I get to those points, I think lifting weights is much more important because a lot of people switch to cardio as they get older, but
Sure.
your muscles are attached to your bones, and you need
Yeah.
a very good muscle structure on your bones to
Yeah.
continue with everything operating properly.
Yep.
So I think that's you switch over a little bit, and cardio is important, of course, but you get cardio lifting, so
Yeah.
it's the same.
Yep. 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 I'm with you. All right, man. So that's your lifting experience. Tell me about your home gym experience. So either your own personal stuff or how has Waited Out kind of been involved in the home gym community?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I never had a home gym. I think when I grew up, they had a couple things in my parents' house, but when I started lifting and stuff before the pandemic, I didn't. I just went to the local fitness place and just worked out every other day or something. And then when the pandemic hit, obviously I wanted to continue lifting, but I lived in an apartment. And so I can't put stuff in the apartment. So I just happen to know some manufacturers and some people that want to help. And hey, can you make me some weight plates? I need them thin, that kind of thing. I want to keep spaces at a minimum where I'm at in the
Sure.
apartment. So I brought it. Yeah, we made some, and I knew some people because I have another business, industrial supplies as well. So I do, and the manufacturing world is very familiar to me. I know how to do those things. And decided, wait, you can make these for me. Why don't we just put it on Facebook? And like this might be going a little bit of history too with the home gym
Yeah,
as
that's
the
cool.
company because it's kind of the same correlates to each other. But the thin plates worked great in a home gym because I mean, like as you know, premium space. And long story short, it wasn't the home gym users during the pandemic they liked the stuff too because of that reason.
Yep.
So I really didn't have experience in the home gym community until I started to wait it out. And I really didn't have a home gym because we didn't really care about space or anything because I was going to other places.
Sure.
But I will say, these weights have been perfect for home gym use. I mean, now that we got the bumpers out and everything too, it's a little bit more, it gets easier to use in a home
Yep.
gym when you have the bumpers too, because you don't have to worry about the floors all the time.
Yep.
Obviously, cast iron, solid steel. If you don't have mats, I mean, they're thin because they're dense, but if you're not using mats, you're obviously going to break whatever
Yeah.
you're hitting the ground on. So you're going to break your concrete, you break whatever floors. So the I did open up. I did make my home gym when I moved into a house, and I put obviously all my stuff in there, and it was great because I mean I had like 4,000 pounds of weights, and I'm like, oh, I have not a lot of space, but I've got all this weight, so I really got to see how it impacted that space saving opportunity in home gyms. So I got to say the home gym community has been awesome. I know that I'm into a lot of the strongman world at this point too, but there's a lot of people, even for plate loaded machines in home gyms, they have it.
Yeah.
Like you can't keep big 2-3 inch plates all around and then go everywhere, especially with plate loaded machines. It's just you can't get enough on there. And some of these big
Yep.
individuals that lift heavy, they overload the machine and they have to
Yep.
find something else to put on the machine. I mean, a
Yep.
longer horn or something. But yeah, it's just so convenient, I think, for a home gym.
Yeah.
I've just learned I learn a lot every single time I do this. Other people's needs.
Yeah.
It's how the business it basically evolves. Is hey, I got a good idea, but then I see, oh, there's a need over here, or they give me I get feedback from our home gym users and commercial gym users, but then we just evolve the product to what makes sense. And hopefully, we think we've evolved at least what we could with what we have, but we're making more products now for the home gym community that's going to help them out a lot and be more multifunctional. As you know,
Yeah.
with the home gym, you want to have
Yep.
everything you possibly can in a small area
Yep.
without having 5 different machines to do
Yep.
one thing.
Yep.
So, yeah, the home community, I think it's just continued to grow, and I feel as we're at least gonna have in all the home gyms in the world, in the country, tons, and I think we're very complimentary to put in a pair or two of our plates in there just to throw in there because they
Yep.
can add a little bit more. We're not the end all be all plates that you're gonna have in your home gym. I understand that. but it's great for that. Hey, I need to buy a pair or two just to add a little bit more.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I mean, I have a pair, and that's exactly how mine are. So my 45s take up the whole weight tree, and I can't even fit my other 45s that I have, but yours fit. And so they are the PR plates. So they're on at the end. If I get to the point where I load up all those 45s, then the weighted outs come out. So, and
mhm.
it's because if I tried to fit another pair of 45s of any other kind, there'd be no room. They'd be all over the place, whatever. It'd be a pain in the butt. So, yeah, I mean, and I use them so I don't have any weight machines in my gym, but I have my rickshaw so that I use for weighted carries. And
Okay.
same thing, it's got the sleeves only about that long. So I can load up my hundreds and then your plates, and then I've still got more room, which is fantastic, as opposed to if I went 45s, I run out way earlier. Especially since mine are same thing. They're the, 2.5 inch thick, old
Mhm.
school 45s. So,
Yeah, and everybody's got those, right? I mean, that's
yep,
how you start. Everybody's this is nobody has weighted out plates. Like a lot of people don't, obviously, because we're a newer company, newer
yep,
product, and yeah, we expect to have people continue to either replace some of their plates or sell them on the marketplace, and
yep,
then as they sell them, they put a few of our plates in there. So
yep,
it's just great complementary plates, as
yep,
you're aware of. So,
yep. All right, so you started during COVID. You started making plates because you saw, you needed them, other people needed them, etc.
mhm.
Um, what what's next? So obviously COVID's done or whatever the right term is at this point. Um, you're not only making plates. Can you give us an insight into other things you're working on? Will your plates continue to evolve or look different? Or are you going to make the same plates? Like what's all that look like going forward?
Yeah. So I mean, just to get back to during COVID, obviously that's when we started because there was an opportunity for myself to have what I wanted. There was an opportunity for the local marketplace. That's kind of where I just helped some people out in the local marketplace to get what they need um in the interim. And then people liked them, so I opened the website. And then I mean, I didn't expect it to go this long, let's be honest. I was more of like, let's just make some stuff, do what we can and help the market out because
Sure.
eventually we're not a big name in the market. We're gonna probably wither away.
Yeah.
It was an opportunity at that time. But I mean, it was my passion. It's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But I never expected it to go this far, which I'm grateful for, But the people, obviously hit a major demand in the market that was nobody was actually focusing on. So it worked out very well. And now we have the solid steel that we have. That's where we first came out with. We started now machining them because that was everything is great except one of the feedback was, hey, they can have some sharp edges on them, of course. And
Sure.
we decided, well, now that we could probably throw in the cost a little better and steel market went up so much 2021, 2022 that we couldn't put any more type of production on there because it was really too expensive. So now that things kind of settled down, we started machining them and now they feel much better. They feel smooth. I love them. I mean, every time I touch them, I'm like, this feels really good. So I know that's a big change that people really wanted. So we evolved that way, and then we got the bumper plates now, and we're obviously our main focus is weight plates. Makes sense, but we want to do other products too as we come along. And now we're gonna have the other size of bumper plates coming out. Hopefully, the next 6 months, we're gonna have the other size of cast iron plates
Yep.
coming out, not just 45s. Because I thought maybe we should just stick to 45s and that's our only like main plate, and then make everything 45s, and people can add other stuff. But a lot of people wanted a complete set.
Sure.
And with the cast iron, obviously the cost is going to be a little bit better
Yep.
because of the material is different. The upfront cost is a lot more for a company like me to put in there because you got to pay for tooling, and that's very expensive
Sure.
upfront. But it's well worth it to help customers out that don't need calibrated plates. They
Yeah.
just want something that's 1% tolerance, but still have thin plates.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have that coming out. And the big thing is now you can custom color your sets. So if you want yellow sets or green sets, or you want a color of the rainbow, let's say, whatever you want, you can have all that. And we can do that on demand with no minimum order. So that'll be really, I think, a game changer to have that customization with not really much more expense involved or
Yeah.
long lead times or what do you want to call it? You just personalization, I
Yeah.
think, is a big thing. People like it,
Yeah.
especially with home gyms.
Yeah.
They want what they want.
Yep.
So, and then we're adapting and bringing in other small manufacturers, American manufacturers on our website, because if as we grow, we want to help other small manufacturers and
Yeah.
companies too. I mean, it's better to have a bigger audience for them, because there's a lot of people who don't know about them, but it would be beneficial for their home gym or their commercial gym. And then if they're just browsing our website, they pop on there and everybody wins.
Yep.
And then I would like to help other individuals who, they have a designs, they have products that hey, I have an idea, I just don't know where to start.
Yeah.
I really want to work with that, because there's a lot of innovation out there that people just have no
Yeah.
starting point. So if we could work with us to have the manufacturing capabilities within reason, we have to make sure it's a doable process and make sense in the market. Trying to bring that around. So kind of a one-stop shop in a way, where we're not just selling weight plates. We're not just selling other people's products. I know Rogue, they're a distributor too at the end of the day for other people's products, but there's something in the market that I'm seeing people really want to have some interaction with companies, and also want to feel like they're part of the company a little bit too. And if their ideas can get them, some benefit from them, then hey, we all win. The customers win, the individuals win, Win-Dot wins. So, we got some other products that you're going to see the next couple of weeks that I think it's a really simple idea, but nobody's done it. So I'm really excited about that one. I don't know how big of a market it's going to be, but I'm excited.
Cool. Nice. All right, man. Last one. I might ask you one more if we have a little bit more time, but the last
Take your
one
time.
is tell me one reason why people should be excited for your AMA.
I think not everybody gets to talk to somebody like myself, right? So I'm the one actually asks the questions. And I get excited because I don't get the chance to talk to everybody, and they may have questions that either they're too afraid to go on Instagram and ask, or they think I'm never going to answer, which I do. I'm the one answering the messages and everything. So I'm the customer service individual as well. So when I'm talking to people, realize it's me. It's not just some random person that is not part of the company that doesn't understand what's going on with what the questions may be. I mean, I know all the answers, but I'm looking forward to seeing feedback with our products, that maybe there's people who already use them and already have them, or maybe there's people that are on the fence, and just not sure if it makes sense for their kind of gym environment. I'm just curious to see what people have to say, and I just really enjoy answering the questions. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. I don't know about them, but I'm excited.
I think one of the other cool things is, like you just mentioned, you want to work with people who have ideas. So we've seen AbMat and a few others that have kind of that model as well. AbMat obviously being in the like kind of knick-knacky, foam type world, as opposed to what I might call like equipment manufacturing, which is more kind of your space, right? Metal and steel and stuff. The opportunity for people to say, hey, I have an idea, and connect there, and then start the side conversation of what does this look like? How does that work? So that's a good way for people to, if they have it, start, the conversation with yourself. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I
very
built
cool.
a network for a reason, not just for myself, but other people
Yep,
could use it, right?
yep,
I've got a lot of people on LinkedIn. I've got a lot of followers on
yep,
there. So I know if I don't have the answer, I'll find it.
yep,
Doesn't mean it's always going to be, it's may not work in the real market, but I will find out if it can or
yep,
not. So
yep, yep. Yeah, I've done that over the years, connected handfuls of people that they're like, hey, I have this idea for whatever. And one of them was a cable attachment, working with a dude who is on Reddit. And it was like, went to, I don't know, 10 different people or something. And all of them were like, no, no, different stages, whatever kind of thing. And ended up working out, connecting him with one of the dudes that I know over across the pond, who like that's what he does, is start from like essentially like just a basic concept, and knows how to take it from there kind of thing. And so yeah, that's same idea. For me, it's how can we mutually benefit for all of us, because if he's got a cool idea, I probably want it in my gym, right? So
exactly.
yeah,
It's like I said, it's a win-win situation for
yeah,
everybody. And
yeah,
not to be selfish, but of course, I want to be the one who gets to
yeah,
present it with the good ideas right away.
yep,
And then we can evolve from there. Doesn't mean they have to sell it on my website or anything. They can do what they want with it. They can
yeah,
go make their own website, but
yep,
I'm also giving an audience for them to get to right away,
yep,
without having to build a whole business around.
yep.
So
Yep.
But
Awesome. All right, so one last question I had for you was I think we kind of skipped over your actual bread and butter, which is the plates themselves. So compared to a typical plate, what do we got? Why are they better than your average plate in a home gym?
yeah, so I mean, kind of tipped on it a little bit. Obviously the thinness of it, we're the thinnest plates in the market, so space saving opportunity. The accuracy, cast iron are 1% variance, usually within 0.5%, to be honest. The handles on the cast iron, if I can see
Yep.
it right there. The handles on there are easy to move around and do different exercises with. And then the solid steel, they're obviously thin as well. And they're calibrated though. So they're gonna weigh what they weigh. They're gonna say if they say 45, they're
Sure.
45. Everything is always the same. Um, and I think that the big things too is the personalization. Now, the solid steel, silver or gold looks cool. There are people that do that, but it's just on a solid steel. It looks nice to a contrast on black and gold, or just everything gold.
Yeah.
It looks very premium plate. And then with the cast iron ones, we're able to custom color them. So if you we have like 9 or 10 options to personalize what you do. We can do more. We can do your own shade of color, but there will be a minimum order on those. If you're a commercial
Sure.
gym, you can do that. But if you're just want yellow, blue, pink, whatever it is, you can do no minimum order on those. Buy a pair, get it custom, and you're good to go. And then the bumper plates, obviously, you got the best of both worlds. You got the thinness of it, 1.3 inches, and a very tight tolerance. I think we promised 1.5%, but ever since we've started making them, they seem to be right around like 45.1 or 2. So it's really not very far off. And obviously you can throw them on the ground anywhere you want to. We threw them from overhead. They're more like competition bumpers. They're not going to bounce
Yeah.
high like
Yeah.
CrossFit kind of things, but they're going to check the floors. You might get a couple inches bounce. You can do whatever you want in there. It's not going to hurt the floor. So, I mean, there's obviously lots of other reasons too. Just they're very, I would say they're unique, but it's a simple kind of plate. They're
Sure.
not the most sexy looking plates in the world,
Yeah.
but they're very functional in what you need for it.
Yeah.
So
I,
hopefully that touches on all the points. It's probably more, but
yeah. I think the only one in my head that you forgot was, and this doesn't count for the bumpers, but the rest of the plates is they're made right here in the States, right?
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably a big deal. I forgot to say, yes, it's all made in USA too.
Yeah.
And since the pandemic, there's been a lot more companies making them in the USA. I mean, there wasn't many before the pandemic because I mean, labor's more expensive here.
Yeah.
But I philosophy, I want to make as much as I possibly can here in the States. Domestically, it's not only good for the community, but it's good for supply chain, and I can go visit my manufacturers anytime
Yeah.
and just say, hey, make sure everything's going well, and we can get it done.
Yeah.
So there's lots of different ways that made in USA is beneficial for customer as well. So
Yeah. 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 So, I mean, the only other one would be if you compare them to like, say, like a Rogue calibrated or something. I'm pretty sure your price comes in quite a bit less, right?
for the cast iron plates, yes. Now for the calibrated solid steel plates, because solid steel is going to be more expensive than cast iron, and I believe Rogue's calibrated plates are not made here. They're
Correct.
made overseas, and they use cast iron. Then they use whatever plugs they can to calibrate them, of course.
Okay.
So there's going to be less cost there. But even with that, let's just compare our 10-pound plates. I haven't looked at their price recently, and honestly, we have a different uh brand, so I'm
Yeah.
not really worried about comparing
Yeah. Yeah.
prices,
Yeah. Yeah.
but we are definitely, we're in the ballpark, if not lower on a lot of the pricing that they're calibrated, that they're made overseas, and it just doesn't have that premium look to it like ours
Yep.
does with the solid steel machining.
Yep.
So I would say it's an investment, right? You're gonna, people think price is usually not the determining factor of why you buy something.
Yeah.
If you want it, right? If you just
Yep.
need it, if you need something, different story. But if you want something for your gym or you want something for your house, if I'm a big cyclist, or let's say compared to golf, if you're a big golfer, you're going to pay for what you want. You know what I mean? It's an investment. You're going to use it for years to come. So the price, you don't do any math on that. You just say, this is what I want.
Yeah.
And I wanted my gym, or I wanted my golf bag. I want to have the best bicycle because I cycle all the time, that kind of
Yep.
thing. So, and if you're lifting every day, you want the best, of course,
Yeah.
or what your best thing is. So
Yeah. Cool. I like it, man. I think that's a good way to end it. So,
Very good.
for everybody out there, so Brian will be doing his AMA here soon. I'll put the details, the dates, all that stuff in the description below. I'll also have some links to some details in terms of how you can get more from Waited Out. So, website, Instagram, all that good stuff. I think I've got a write-up that I can link to as well that'll talk about some of his plates and why I think they stand out in the market. I'll put all that good stuff down below so you can read about it, get more details. And yeah, come ask Brian some questions. If you've got a good idea on something you think that he should make or help you make or bring to life, that's a good place to start as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. So thanks for hopping on today, dude. Talk soon.
Yeah, Joe, appreciate it very much.
All
Enjoy
right,
the
man.
rest of your day.
Later.